Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for the third installation of Graphic Design with Mr. Britt. I'm going to share my screen. This is going to be a fairly quick lesson, but very cool. As always, we go to photop.com. This time we're making our file from scratch, no coloring sheet. We go to New Project. On this screen, I'm going to go very slow so you can follow along. You're going to go to where it says Print right here. Click on Print. Scroll down, click on Letter. That's 8.5 by 11 letter. So I went to Print, then I went to Letter, and I'm going to Create. Now I know some of you had trouble with your RAM and your memory, so please make sure that you clear off your old projects after you turn them in. This shouldn't use as much RAM or memory because we are just drawing and coloring. No fill, no gradient. First thing we're going to do here, make sure we're on our black and white. Make sure everything is where it should be. All right. Now, I'm going to make my line a little thicker, and I'm going to click and hold my mouse. Then I'm going to hold the Shift key. Then I'm going to make a straight line. Just drag my mouse across the screen, and then I'll release. That's how I get my perfectly straight line. Okay. Now at this point, I'm going to use my magic wand, and I'm just going to choose any color I want. I'm going to go, say, a golden yellow. All right. And I'm going to use my bracket key. We're going to practice using our bracket keys to make our brush bigger or smaller. Now, I forgot to select this area. I'm going to color in this area. So I selected this area with the magic wand. Now my brush is selected, and I have my brush as big as I want it. I'm just slowly coloring. This is the practice you use in your mouse pad. Okay, then we go to select, deselect. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to make our circle pretty big. I want to say about maybe that big. I'm going to choose a different color. Let's go green. Now, it's important on this part of the project that you find a middle shade. Don't go too dark, don't go too light. I'm finding a middle shade of green. Click OK. And I'm simply going to click my mouse one time. There we go. I'm going to make my brush smaller because I'm going to be doing some work with it. Now, go up here where it says 400. This is your hardness. Bring your hardness down to 0. Go to your opacity. Bring your opacity down to 50, just like we did last time. Oops. Hardness at 0, opacity at 50. Now what I'm going to do is, I have my mid-level green. I'm going to choose a lighter green. So I moved it up. And I'm just going to lightly make a few crosses. Oops, what did I do wrong, guys? I didn't select my area. That was a mistake, because you see how I colored outside those lines? Now that I use my magic wand, I selected this, and I can't color outside those lines. Easy mistake. See, even I make them too. You just push Control Z to undo your mistakes. So now that I have this brush with the lighter green, just make a few passes on the top right corner, just 2 or 3, okay? And when I go back to my other color that I have here, and this is the light, this is my mid, let's go dark. I'm gonna go darker. While this is still selected, I'm just going to add a few passes of dark to the bottom. Then I'm going to select, deselect. Now we have somewhat of a 3D ball because we're using value, highlight and shadow. Now let's add some shadow to the actual table. We're going to select this area. Now this is a trick to pick up the color that's already in your picture. I can't just go find this color exactly. I can get close. All you have to do to find this color is just move your cursor out here and click. Now, if I want to make a shadow, I have to go darker in this yellow. So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. And at this point, I want to go to my brush. My brush still has my hardness at 0, my opacity at 50. So I'm just going to start right here and make a few passes to show some shadow. Go straight across. And then I'm going to select and deselect. And let's just say I don't want to leave this white. I'm going to select this. This time, I'm going to go to my brush. I'm going to bring my hardness back up to 100. Bring my opacity back up to 100. And let's give some red. And as long as it's selected, this isn't selected, so I just color all in this and it won't do anything. And there it is. And you have somewhat of a 3D picture. All right. So I want you guys to screenshot this. Don't save it. That's going to take up RAM. Screenshot this and then submit it. All right. This is easy, but it's something we're going to be using a lot. We're going to be using light and value. So this is a good practice to show how to use highlight and shadow. All right, guys, get this done.